Cool, thank you. All right, let's do this. It's party night. Let's go. All right, who's partying tonight? Oh, all right, this is going to be good then. This will be all right, man. I was at a party on the weekend, and I'm not here to brag to you, but I got pretty hammered. I got pretty messed up. I'm not bragging. It was my niece's 4th birthday party. I got pretty hammered, man. I went to visit her. I went to her little party. I don't usually go visit her because she's 4, so she doesn't do anything that's interesting. And, some of you know what I'm talking about. You had a 4-year-old try and tell you a story before. The turtle, upside down, Cinderella. I'm like, you got to work it out in your head before you start. I don't know. Beginning, middle, end. You write it down or something. I don't really have time for this. I'm sorry. Happy birthday, though. That's super. That's great. That's really nice. Man, that's my brother's life, though, man. He's married. He's got kids. Marriage, man. I had to break up with my last girlfriend because she wanted to get married. And it wasn't her. She was cool and stuff. I don't believe in marriage. And, I believe that it exists. Just not that it's a good idea. She couldn't wrap her head around it. She's like, well, if you're not going to get married, what are you going to do with your life? What's your plan? What are you going to do? And I was just like, well, I'm going to have a whole bunch of girlfriends. That's awesome. She's like, oh, who do you want to be, Magnum P.I.? I was like, have you been reading my diary? That's exactly what I want. My problem in the dating world is I'm 33, and I mostly like to date girls who are 10 years younger than me. Thank you. And, yeah. Don't worry, I realize some of you guys, you're here with women. It's cool. I can hear you mentally applauding, dude. Don't worry about it. But if you date younger women, I've discovered this. You can't lie about it, because it all comes out on the dance floor. Man, you see somebody dance, you know how old they are. So I'm 33, right? I dance like this. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't care what's playing. Yeah. Like, oh, is this Jay-Z? Yeah, it's really good. Yeah. Oh, is this Dave Matthews Band? Yeah, it's really good. Yeah. I got this one, though. I got faster. Oh, yeah, I really like this one. Yeah. This one's really good. And I got slower. Oh, sensual. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's what I got, man. I date girls who dance like they're in a Black Eyed Peas video, though. Well, like, I just want that boom, boom, pow. I don't have that one. I just have this one. I just have this. You know who thinks that's hot? No one. It's not the way to go, man. You gotta do things out on dates, man. You gotta go dancing. You know, after you date for a while, you start to get into, like, you're trying to come up with things, right? Because you've seen every movie, every week, 2 years, every weekend. Oh, let's go to a movie. Let's fucking not, all right? Let's do something else, anything else, man. And my ex got me to go dragon boating once. Oh, dragon boating? She said it to me, and I was like, are you serious? It sounds amazing. Like, who would not want to go dragon boating? It sounds like the greatest time ever. And then at 6 in the morning on a Saturday, I realized she tricked me into rowing. Like, what the... She tries to hand me a paddle. I'm like, the hell is this paddle for? She go fetch me a dragon saddle and let's do this. That's not what it is. It's weird, though. It's always hard for me to meet girls when I was in high school, though, because I hit puberty late. I hit puberty in grade 12. That's 4 years too late. It's not a look women are into. That's why I grew the beard. Yeah. It's puberty on my face. Check that out. Yeah. You run your fingers through that, man. Like, if you're a girl, not for dudes. Just, you can. Yeah, it's good, man. I didn't realize until I grew my beard, though, that there's, like, a brotherhood of guys with beards. I didn't know that. I didn't realize until I grew my beard, I realized other guys with beards think we're friends. It's weird, man. You, like, get on the subway, some dude with a beard will be on there, be like, hey, buddy, what's happening? Like we're two black guys in Regina or some shit. Like, what happened, you? We're not friends. It's a weird thing to do, man. Regina, I like Regina, man. They call it the city that rhymes with fun. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny, yeah. For me, though, I think that would be more true if it was called Two Reginas, but that's maybe just how I was raised, you know. Man, but yeah, I hit puberty late, man. My brother hit puberty way before me, though. My brother hit puberty in, like, grade 6 or grade 4 or some shit. And he was having sex regularly by grade 8. And I think we can all agree that's amazing. But it did show me one thing from his example. I realized one thing about life, that one of the ways you can tell you're, like, too young to be having sex is if you're having sex in a fort. Oh, that's not as easy as it sounds, Toronto. It's really not. Well, you guys together? Is this your lady? You can give it a shot tonight, eh? Well, you're already dating. That'll make it easier. Just get her home. Like, you know what I was thinking? We take all of the cushions off of the couch. Put a little blanket over top. Anchor the corners. You gotta anchor the corners. It's a fort, for Christ's sakes. Anchor the corners. Get in. It's a pretty good idea. I can tell because there's like 140 dudes sitting there in the dark going, that does sound kind of awesome. Might have a refrigerator box in the basement. That's a good fort, buddy. You got a little window into that. That's good times, man. Yeah. Plus, you can have that thought when you're in there. You're just like, wow. I'm inside a box. Inside a box. Yeah. That's a good time, man. Yeah. That's a Saturday night you talk about at work on Monday, that's for sure. Yeah. Like, what'd you do this weekend? Avatar, what'd you do? I fucked in a fort. You've won. Yeah. You've won. Yeah. It's fun, man. It's fun growing up with my brother, man. We had a weird sort of upbringing, my brother and I, because I grew up in a house with just men in it. It was just me and my brother, and we were raised by my dad, because my parents got divorced when I was 6 months old. That was my fault. Not a big deal, but it is weird if you grow up in a house with just men in it, because we didn't have, like, the regular everyday things you would have in your house if you grew up with women in it. Like, we didn't have, like bed linens or an iron or emotions or any of those things that would really make life easier, man. Huh? How about that, huh? Yeah. Eat it up stage, right? You get the good seats, huh? Been doing lunges, whatever. I've been working on, like, a sexier, sort of, like, sexy way to stand, you know? So, yeah, it does hurt. That's the problem. You can't really stand like this all the time, either. You can't be like, hey, what time's this bus get here? It's weird, man. It's weird. It's hard being sexy, man. It's hard. I went to a tanning salon. Hey, you guys ever been to a tanning salon? No, because it makes you feel gay. That's why. It does. It does. You walk in perfectly heterosexual into a tanning salon. You walk out and you're like, I think I gotta get a vest. Yeah. Good look for me. I went to a tanning salon, though, because I don't know if any of you guys have had that experience where you take your shirt off in front of a lady and she's like, wow, I can see all the veins in your chest. And you're like, I know. Sexy, right? She's like, no. I hope you like vests. It's not even what I was talking about. I was just trying to impress you. I like doing that because I feel like a magician. Oh, man. It's hard growing up in my house, though, man. It was weird growing up with just guys. It was hard, man, because I was the youngest, and my brother hit puberty before me, so, like, I was just always, like, the smallest, weakest. It's hard to be the least manly man in a house full of men. That's very difficult, because, like, my dad's, like, a tough guy, and my brother's a tough guy. Like, he played hockey, and he had, like, a speed bag in the basement, and I was more like, I had a different approach. Like, I would hang out in my room and try and think of a way to get bit by a radioactive spider, so we didn't have the same, like, approach to manhood, so it was weird. But in the summer, my brother, he had a party for my niece, and he rented one of those, like, big inflatable castles, you know, for, like, the kids to bounce around in and stuff. And but he also, it wasn't just for the kids. because he also rented these big, like, oversized, like, boxing gloves. You ever seen these? They're like the size of a 4-year-old. They're massive. And it's just for all the dads to get in the castle and beat the fuck out of each other, right? And so we go, 'cause I don't know if you've ever been to a 4-year-old's party before, but the way it works is like all the kids, they run around and they play tag and stuff, and all the moms go, oh my God, she's getting so big. And all the dads get hammered. It's great. Yeah. So it turns out the only thing that makes an inflatable castle more funny is a bottle of Jaeger. So we're good, right? And so we get in there, and I get to go in there with my brother, right? My brother's been beating me up my whole life, right? We get the gloves on and stuff, and I realize, now's my chance. Today is my day for revenge, because now my brother has a heart condition, and I'm like, yeah, it is on. Yeah, I've been training for this. And I'm in there, I'm just feeding him, right? I'm not showing him any mercy whatsoever, and I can see in his eyes, he's not going to say mercy to his little brother, right? He's beaten me up my whole life, right? He's just sitting there, he's just like, I would rather die in an inflatable castle. I was like, I'm going to make you make that choice. And it's great. If you're a little brother, you know this. There's no greater feeling on earth than beating the shit out of your older brother. It's wonderful. And there's no sadder noise on earth than a little voice from outside the castle going, please stop hurting my dad. Nope. It feels good, man. It feels good. So I'm not here to brag to you guys, but I'm from Oshawa, Ontario. Oshawa, for those of you who don't know, Oshawa's the kind of town where, like, in high school, half the girls are ugly and the other half are pregnant. It's that kind of, that's our vibe there, man. It's weird, man. I forget, man. I go home and visit my dad and go to the food court in the mall there. I'm like, wow, I had forgotten how many pregnant teenagers are here. This is really, what are they putting in the water? It's sperm. That's what it is. Don't drink the water, buddy. That's what I'm saying. So I got arrested for being in a stolen car, hanging out with these guys. And I just come downstairs one day, there's a bunch of dudes at my house, and they're like, hey, you want to go to McDonald's? And I'm like, I'm in high school. Of course I want to go to McDonald's, right? Let's make this happen. We did. And so we're driving along, and we stop at a light, and then, like, 7 cop cars come out, and, like, all these cops, like, start pouring out of the cars, and they're running over. But the guy who was driving is, like, trying to hide his wallet beside the seat because he doesn't understand which side of the law he's on. And he's trying to, like, slide in there. And the cops see it, but they don't quite see it, so they don't really know. So they think, like, maybe he's got a weapon or something, right? It's like a tense situation. And the cops are getting, like, antsy and aggressive, right? And the cops are yanking guys out of the car. The cop grabs me, slams me up against the car, and he's like, where's the fucking gun? And I was like, I thought we were going to McDonald's. Yeah. And so they arrest us, they bring us to the police station, put us each in little, like, interrogation rooms, right? And it's just like a table and 2 chairs, and the cop's coming in and grilling me. She's like, hey, pulling, like, cop moves and stuff, right? Hey, your buddy in the other room, he told me you stole the car. And I was like, I've seen Law and Order. You gotta get a different trick, man. We got TVs now, so I know how this one goes, right? Because I knew that being in a stolen car is not a crime if you don't know that the car is stolen, which I knew because I'm from Oshawa and they teach you that shit in high school. So I was just throwing some street game at him, right? I was just like, oh, I don't know, McDonald's, I don't know, except I was crying. And, And so the cop is coming in and out, right? And, like, asking me questions and stuff. But then at one point, like, the door opens, but he doesn't come in. It's just open. I was like, I'm like, this would be so awesome if I did this. Oh, my God. I would be a legend at school. This would be so great. And just then my brother who was with us, my brother walks by. I walk out, and I'm like, hey, dude, we should make a break for it. He's like, they're letting us go, you fucking moron. Cool. And I walked off like this, because that's how I walked in high school. Yeah. Yeah, who knows why I was a virgin until university? Nobody, it's a mystery.